Hey guys, so this is another classroom content video from here at MKG Detroit. In case you've not been to any of our classes or you haven't trained the MKG method, just want to give a little bit of a background on what this is. So this was in our Phase 2 class that we did tonight. Phase 2 is kind of an intermediate program, one of the many different classes that we teach here. So it's an intermediate approach to the integrated martial art platform known as the MKG method here. So this is coming from the Filipino martial art from Kali, and we're combining a lot of our teacher Sifu Rick Fei's elements that we would have from the numbering system and basic defenses with the single stick. You do single sword as well. So the lines of attack you're going to see are this angle 2 here, right? So this is starting from the center. You see this backhand position, so it's any backhand high line, probably aiming towards something like the temple here, like this, okay? You'll also see what you might call a number 7, depending on the numbering system, these might change, but it's just a vertical slash down. So this line and this line here, and the last one is a thrust to the abdomen like that, just a straight thrust, no hook or anything, just straight in and out. So as a warm-up for this, if you wanted, you could go 2 overhead and thrust, right? So that's your high backhand, overhead and thrust. From this angle, high backhand, overhead and thrust. From the rear, if you want to follow along, 1, 2, and 3. And from this side, that's the angle 2. That's the overhand and the thrust. Be mindful that when you do this too, don't let your hand come all the way around the world like this, right? So you see we come here, this big looping motion. That's fine, that'll get you there. But for a while now, your weapon is way behind you and there's somebody swinging a stick or a sword or something in front of you. This is not a good look, right? So you want this to just come to here and then allow your wrist to turn over, right? Your body to turn over so it just wheels around here. If you find yourself turning the stick, try not to let your grip loosen, right? So you'll see groups where they do like this with 2 fingers. That's fine, but we tend to shy away from that and try to keep a firm grip so you're just using your wrist. So that's 1, 7, and 5. The defensive positions you're going to see used here are the high shield. If you're in the Phase 1 program, you'll recognize this as one of the deflections on your Phase 1.3 test outline. So this is the high shield. You see the tip is down to the right. So if a shot is coming at me from my right at an angle like this, I'm picking it up here defensively, right? It's kind of similar to the saluting motion like this, and sometimes you'll see it come very tight to the body. We tend to play it out a little higher and further away so that you're not eating your own stick. You'll also see roof block. Roof block sometimes is done this way, and then you're guiding their weapon off of yours with the hand. And sometimes it's just as simple as putting this up so that you don't get bonked in the head. So you just lift like this. So this is the shield with the tip to my right. This is the roof with the tip to my left, pointing down and pointing down. They're really like 2 sides of a triangle. And then you'll also see a basic drop deflection with the tip left like this. So this is just coming horizontal down, 1 to 2 like this, right? So if a shot is coming to my midsection, I just tap it, okay? So the video that follows is Christina and I reviewing some of the stuff that we did in class. And I think if I remember, I'm gonna put a little slow-mo clip of Jen doing it. She pulled it off in flow. You'll see how some of these lines are used for faking. I think it looks kind of cool. So here we go. Okay, so these are options and ideas off of the angle 2 when we look at the tip right deflections, the abierta position. So she feeds the angle 2 and we're meeting this one here. This is our usually what we would call the high shield. Right? This is very common in our Phase 1 program in our Kali class to meet the weapon this way. So if my stick is already here, I'm going to have a lot of options of going around to this side. I don't have the time. So we just let this lift up and form like you're holding a shield, a defensive structure here. Right? Now I'm going to maybe pat this down a little bit. I can also just punch through, but I'm going to turn this over to strike over top like this. And as I do, she's going to convert her shape defensively into just a basic roof block. So that's 1 and 2. Again, she feeds the 2. This is her offensively and me defensively. And then we switch roles. I'm attacking, she's defending. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Most of your Kali groups are going to have something similar to this. So what we're gonna add here is when we go high, I'm gonna pull this out and hit an angle 1 and angle 2. So that's 1, 2, follow up, angle 1 and angle 2. You might have to step back so you don't accidentally clobber each other. So defend, attack, 1 and 2. Defend, attack, 1 and 2, third time's a charm, and 1 and 2. Option B would be to take this and to fake high and pull this back. So when you pull this back, you're allowing your elbow to travel next to your body, like this, so that the tip kind of curls its way towards you. Sometimes they'll even bring the foot back so that you're kind of just sucking everything in like this. So we have 1, pull that back, and now I can thrust underneath her defense and follow up 1 and 2. So that's here, whoop, pull that back, step into thrust, 1 and 2, then 1, whoop. Keep this hand high because she could hit at any point, thrust, and then hit 1 and 2. Third option would be to go here, and we pull this back, but she's able to just drop stick over on top of this and just bring her defense from high to low. So she actually is aware of what we're doing. She tracks this motion to this motion. So we're here, here, like this. If she makes contact, I allow that pressure and momentum from her stick to turn mine over, and I hit my 1 and 2. So that's here, 1, click, 1 and 2. And I may wind up where I miss this one and miss this one and hit 1 and 2. What's nice here is that with her stick going from high to low, she's occupied trying to keep up with my attack so that eventually something will be available. So maybe I fake this, fake this, fake this, and now I can hit high like that. So if we take this in sets of 3, you can isolate each idea or just do option A, B, and then C. So that would look like shield, click, 1 and 2. Shield, fake to thrust low, 1 and 2. Shield, fake, and let that turn you over, 1 and 2. And then you could also try this as shield, fake, fake, 1 and 2, like that. And I feed her, she does her shield, she hits high, and I root, she feeds 1 and 2. 1, 2, oh, take that one, 1 and 2, and here, what, bang, 1 and 2, she feeds me. Tap, tap, 1 and 2. 1 here, 1 and 2, and 1 here, 1 and 2. Hit, hit. Hit, hit. Hit, hit. 1 and 2. And last time, 1, 2. Pat, pat. 1, 2, thrust. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2 like this. Okay? So basic phase 1 and phase 2 concepts. Just kind of building your own drills. And you can take this any way that you want. You could make this the angle 3 and you could shield low and come upstairs, right? So you just drop your body like this. And if that's too much, you can make that drop deflection and come upstairs and do the same thing. So to go from here to here and follow up is just something you can add on as a smooth finish to any of these contra sombrado patterns or any of the double combinations like this with the weapon, right? Thank you.